So with me today, I've got Jason Paull from Fairway Independent Mortgage. Jason, thank you so much for coming and talking with us today.
Thanks for having me.
We're going to dispel three sort of myths each that people in this world have with real estate agents and with lenders in general. So we're going to start off with one of the most important things that's probably more near and dear to me than anything else, and that's communication. A lot of people say it's really hard to get someone on the phone these days. Once you've got that initial contact, they expect everything to happen automatically. But we're here to sort of dispel that. And I've got a couple different ways that I like to discuss that, at least from a realtor standpoint. And that is that I pride myself in communication. I may be guilty sometimes of over communicating, and I'm also constantly working. Ask my wife, she'll tell you I'm always working. And so therefore, communicating or getting a hold of me is not that difficult at all. Jason, what are some of the things that you do special at Fairway to combat that a little bit?
Yeah, I think my wife would agree too. We're tethered to our phones probably more than we should be. Part of my business is I've listened to clients in the past where they've had bad experiences, especially if they're buying a second house or doing a refinance, and they said that they had a bad experience, and the communication always comes up as number one. So we have automated methods of communicating, just simple updates that don't require a phone call. It can be a simple text message or an email. And then for the big milestones, we make sure to pick up the phone. And we do it more often than once a month. Obviously, it can be a longer process. So we just really want to make sure that everybody knows what's going on and feels like they're part of the process. Because then there's no confusion and everybody is good.
I think Jason brings up a really good point. So if you're ready to talk to one of us and you've had a bad experience in the past, either with a lender, a realtor, or both, let us know what that is. Let us know what we're going to do to combat that, because I believe this interview process goes both ways, and we need to be able to have that kind of conversation with you. I think that there's certain clients that love email, there's certain clients that love text, and there's certain clients that need a phone call, and we are able to handle that in either one of the ways necessary. So Jason, one of the other things we should talk about here is kind of setting expectations for our clients. Some people feel as though perhaps the process is a little long on the lending side, which I think is a falsity. And other people may think that we don't set the right expectations and we may overpromise and underdeliver from the realtor's side. So you want to talk a little bit about your process a little bit and how we set that expectation?
Absolutely. Yeah. Depending if you're purchasing a home or refinancing, setting the expectation up front, telling you what the time period is. Obviously, if you're working with Tim to buy a house, we have a contract, we have a closing date. Our company, Fairway Mortgage, we pride ourselves in always hitting our closing dates, and we do everything within our means to achieve that goal. And that just makes for happy clients in the end, and that's really the overall goal for everybody.
A lot of times real estate agents kind of overpromise and underdeliver, and that's been one of the complaints, at least what I've read online. However, in my process, we do things and I do things on my side of the business where I'm going to constantly try and impress you. I work on a referral basis day in and day out. I don't do a bunch of fancy advertising. Neither one of us really do. And so therefore, we want that client experience to be number one. So we're going to try and set those upfront expectations so that you're not realizing, in the end that we didn't really tell you what we're going to do. So it's very important for us to have that initial conversation with you to kind of set the time frames that are necessary, to find out how you like to be communicated with, and overall have a fantastic experience, because when you're done with this transaction, we want you to be able to refer us to a bunch of your friends. So we're going to do everything we can during this transaction to make sure that we have repeat business from you and your family.
Absolutely, yeah. I have the same thing in my business where one of the first conversations I will tell clients, hey, my number one goal is to make you a raving fan of me and of Tim, the real estate agent. So, just setting that expectation, I'm going to do everything in my power just to make you happy. So then that way, like Tim said, you tell everybody about us, because we're 100% referral, and we're small businesses. So
Absolutely.
That's our lifeblood, is to make sure we take care of people and we build that relationship, and that just helps everybody be successful.
Yeah, we're both full-time at what we do. This is no part-time stuff. So everything we do on a daily basis is for our clients, and that's where we focus most of our efforts on.
Absolutely.
So our third and final point today is sort of a misnomer out there that we're in this business just to make a bunch of money. I'll tell you what, we're in this business because we like to work hard, we like to serve people, and our pay only comes from being successful at closing transactions. Yeah. Jason, do you earn a salary I don't know about or something like that? Or
No. Some days I wish I do, and I think our pay per hour is probably pretty low actually when you do the math on it. But that's kind of the difference between an independent lender like myself and maybe an online call center or somebody who's working in a rocket or something like that. But those guys are making an hourly wage, and they don't really care, if your deal closes on time or not. Whereas we don't get paid unless you find a house that you're happy with, and then we end up getting you in on time. So it's kind of aligning all of our goals to be the same. You're at the end, you're happy, and then we do get a paycheck for the service that we provided.
Sure. I mean, that's what we're talking about. We're building a business here. We're not baited on one specific transaction. I think taking that emotional side away from the transaction, because we have to close this one transaction, I think is important, because we don't really, we want you to win. We want you to get a house that's going to be perfect for you and for your family. However, if this one transaction doesn't work out, we're not going to lose it because we have to have this commission. We're not even, I'm not even thinking about the commission in the end. We're building a business here. We're expecting many more transactions like we talked about before. That relationship we're establishing with you is not just for this particular transaction. It's for our lives, and it's our livelihood, and that's for the rest of the time that you're in the house. Well, Jason, I think we had some great points to be covered today. I really appreciate you coming out and explaining some of this to some of the people that are watching this. And anything else you want to say?
Yeah, no, thanks for having me. I enjoyed just kind of guiding people. I think that's the biggest part of our job, is just education. So, if any of you have questions out there, feel free to reach out. We'll have a link below to my website that you can contact me pretty much 24/7, 365. We're always open. We're in real estate, so don't feel like you're bugging us when you reach out on a Saturday, because we're typically working as well. So.
As much as we love hearing from you too. So feel free to call us when necessary. I just wanted to leave you that same thought, is that we're in the process of getting you in your next home, but we're also in the process of educating. If you're a year out from getting a place of your own, let's have a conversation now. Let's start making those plans. We'll get you ready, and that's what we're here for. My name is Tim Olsen. I'm a real estate agent with John L. Scott.
I'm Jason Paull with Fairway Mortgage.